Hey guys, that was the new intro. So, today I'm going to be reading Racing in the Rain, Part 8, Chapter 8. Let's get to it! So here we have Racing in the Rain. So here's Chapter 8. Let's read. Picture everything in your mind, okay guys? Let's start. One summer Saturday afternoon, we spent the morning at the beach at Alki swimming and eating fish and chips from Spud's. When we returned to the house, red and tired from the sun, Evie put Zoe down for a nap. Denny and I sat in the front of the TV to study. In Portland, a few weeks earlier, it was an exciting race, 8 hours long, in which Denny had his 2 co-drivers took turns behind the wheel in 2-hour shifts. They came in first after Denny's last-minute Harakati, which included recovering from a near spin to overtake 2 competitors. Denny started the tape at the beginning of the final stint. The track was wet and the sky was heavy with dark clouds that threatened more rain. We watched several laps in silence. Denny drove smoothly and almost alone. His team had fallen behind after making his cool decision to pull into the pits and switch to rain tires. Other racing teams had predicted the rain would pass, and so gained more than 2 laps on Denny's team. Yet the rain began again, which gave Denny a great advantage. Denny quickly and easily passed cars from other classes. There were unpowered masters that darted through the turns with their excellent balance, big energy, Vipers with their lousy handling, Denny in his quick and muscular Porsche sliding through the rain. How could you go through the turns so much faster than the other cars? Evie asked. I looked up. She stood at the doorway, watching with us. Most of them aren't running range tires, Denny said. Evie took a seat on the sofa next to Denny. But some of them are. Yes, some, he said. We watched. Denny drove up behind a yellow camera at the end of the back of the street, and through his look had taken over the car in turn 12. He held back. Evie noticed. Why didn't you pass him? She asked. I know him. He's got too much power, and it would just pass me back on the straight. I think I'll take him in the next series of turns. Yes, at the next turn, Denny was inches from the Cabrio's rear bumper. He rode tight. Tight through the double turn and then looked the inside for the next turn and he zipped right by. This part of the track is really slick in the rain, he said. He has to be back way off. By the time he gets his grip back, I'm out of his reach. On the back straight again, the car could be seen in Denny's review mirror, facing into the background. Did he have rain tires? Evie asked. I think so, but his car wasn't set up right. Still, you're driving like the track is wet, and everyone else is driving like it is. Turn 12 and blazing down the straight, we could see brake lights on the competition flicker ahead. Denny's next victims. We are the creators of our own destiny, Denny said softly. What? Evie asked. When I was 19, Denny said after a moment, at my first driving school down at Sears Point, it was raining and they were trying to teach us how to drive in the rain. After the instructions were finished, explaining all their secrets, all students were totally confused. We had no idea what they were talking about. I looked over at the guy next to me. I remember him. He was from France, and he was very, very fast. He smiled and we said, "We are the creators of our own destiny." Evie snuck out of her lower lip and squinted at Denny, and then everything made sense, she said jokingly. On the TV, the rain didn't stop. It kept coming. And then everything made sense, she said jokingly. "That's right," Denny said seriously. On the TV, the rain didn't stop. It kept coming. Denny's team had made the right choice. Other teams were pulling off into the hot pits to change the rain tires. "Drivers are afraid of the rain," Denny told us. "Rain makes your mistakes even worse, and water on the track can make your car handle unexpectedly. When something undependable happens, you have to react to it. And you're reacting at speed. You're reacting too late, and so you should be afraid." "I'm afraid just watching it," Evie said. "If I unfortunately make the car do something, then I can't predict what's going to do. In other words, it predicts if I'm not processing it." "So you spin the car before the car spins itself?" she asked. "That's it. If Darlie does something, then I can react. I Darlie do something, then I know it's going to happen before it happens. Then I can react to it before even the car knows it's happening." "And you can do that?" On the TV screen, Denny could be seen dashing past other cars. His rear end suddenly slipped out of his car, got sideways, but his hands were already turning to correct, and he was off again, leaving the others behind. Evie sighed in relief, held her hands to her forehead. "I love you," she said. "I love all of you, even you racing. And I know on some level you are completely right about all this. I just don't think I could ever do it myself." She went off into the kitchen. Denny and I continued watching the cars in the video as they drove around and around the circuit, drenched in the darkness. "I will never tire of watching tapes with Denny," he said, nothing more to me. He continued watching his tapes, but my thoughts turned to what he had just taught me. Such a simple concept, yet so true. We are the creators of our own destiny. Being though intention of ignorance or success, and our failures have been brought by none of other than ourselves. I left Denny at the TV and walked into the kitchen. Evie was preparing dinner, and she looked at me when I entered. "Bored with the race?" she asked cautiously. I wasn't bored. I could have watched the race all that day and all the next. I was creating my own destiny. I lay down near the refrigerator in a favorite spot of mine and rested. I could tell she felt conscious with me there. Usually, if Denny was in the house, I'd spend my time at his side. That I have chosen to be with her now seemed to be confused her. She didn't understand my interactions, but then she got rolling with dinner, and she forgot about me. First, she started some hamburger frying, which smelled good. Then she washed some lettuce and spun it dry. She sliced apples. She added onions and garlic to a pot, and then a can of tomatoes, and the kitchen was rich with the smell of food. The smell of it and the heat of the day made me quite dozy, so I must have nodded off. Then I felt her hands on me, stroking my side, then scratching. My reward was more of her comfortable scratches. "Sweet dog," she says to me. "Sweet dog." She returned to her parents, pausing She returned to her place, pausing only occasionally to rub my neck with her bare foot as she passed, which wasn't all that much, but meant a lot to me anyway. I reached out to Evie, she responded. A consensus was made. Danny was right. We are the creators of our own destiny. And then 9. Wow. Can't believe how much we've done. Because tomorrow it's chapter 9. Bye! Hope you enjoyed this video.
Yeah.
Subscribe, hit the notifications, and bye.
Yeah.